Expect a summary video. We're here in East 57th, and we have a fire escape system here on the side courtyard of this building. This is fire escape number 3. We're here to examine, test, or certify this fire escape. Right now we cannot certify or test this fire escape. She has structural issues and paint issues, so at this time we cannot certify or load test this fire escape until certain things are done. Let's talk about on this first part, must be structurally sound, must be kept painted as per code. And the International Fire Code says that now you must examine these every 5 years. As of 2012, every fire escape in the nation must be examined, and a report must be sent to the city official. So with that being the case, this fire escape should be refurbished at this time, so that way you can avoid these 5-year inspection requirements. Even though you're going to be required to inspect, you should be able to pass easily. So step 1, let's talk about must be kept painted, must be structurally sound. The fact that you must keep it painted, now you fall into the EPA guidelines. You can't weld on this fire escape. You can only bolt it, and the majority of this fire escape is bolted anyway. Otherwise, you suffer a $35,000 fine per violation. So structurally sound, the first thing we're going to deal with on the structurally sound is that this is tied into the building 8 to 12 inches. Over 75% of the connections are showing deficiencies, are showing spalling and into the building. So the entire side courtyard has issues with cement in various degrees. Okay, so cement-wise, we have problems. So I'm going to talk about cement-wise. I'm going to talk about some structural right here, and then I'm going to break this up into 2 videos. And the second one's going to focus on the staircase. So the fire escape must be structurally sound. So you can spot repair this fire escape, but there's so much work that needs to be done here. This is a candidate for a full refurb. Now, normally in the 25th to 50th birthday, you would change every one of these fasteners. I don't see any evidence of maintenance. I see evidence of painting, but no evidence of maintenance over time. So no new hardware that I can see. All original hardware, it rivets and square head bolts on the entire structure. This ladder here, once you release it off this hook, she drops and hits the ground with a guillotine, and you pass through here. But again, all original hardware holding this thing together, okay? So all of these need to be spot repaired, and then we proceed to a load test. But the load test is going to basically eliminate any need for a disclaimer, because you can also spot repair the fire escape, but it's going to come with an affidavit of opinion, and that has a huge disclaimer that any of these fasteners, should they fail, the liability is 100% on the ownership of the building. Okay, so let's continue on with structural. So we got to change all these bolts. We got rivets on that, so that indicates that this fire escape is older than 50 years old. It's 75 plus years old. All the joint corners are full of rust and expanding, okay, on this fire escape. The connections going onto the staircase, again, we got bolts and nuts, but you got rust on 50-75% of this fire escape is an issue. These spacers and these connectors that basically marry some of the flats together that create the grating, full of rust right there. So we do have some life safety issues on this fire escape. When we go up the railing, when you look at these railings, they're full of rust in these joints. You can see the bulging that's happening there. There's a huge amount of bulge happening. There's like over an inch of rust, and there's no more bolts left. They've popped. So as I go up a little bit, I'll show you more of that. Ice jacking and rust jacking, and all this is occurring in all these staircases. 50-75% of every staircase has problems with rust. Every single fire escape stair has half-inch built of rust on this. This rust jacking has basically made every one of these nuts and bolts suspect. Okay? We also have some ventilation issues, and as I go up to the next level, I'll stop there. But see, all this water, this is rusty tears. All this is basically water trying to get into your building, and this is what happens as it starts penetrating, and sometimes it gets in the building, rusts, and this is one of the indicators that water's getting into your building is right here. Okay, so 100% of these treads need to be rebolted. As we get up higher, you're going to see where the spalling is happening on the cement. So it needs to be repaired and sealed. A lot of these joints, amazingly, a lot of the stringer clips at the top are in good order, but I have to load test it now to avoid the liability. But I changed these 2 bolts, and in lieu of a load test, this is the only thing holding that ladder in the air. Here's one of the emergencies. You know, I can put my finger all the way through. There is no bolt there. So if this hook ever lets go, that ladder is going to go down and grab somebody while they're moving the trash or whatever. Or if somebody just steps on the ladder by mistake, the ladder is going to rip out of here, drop this bolt too, which is already ripped. But look at this, on the rails. See? All the way down, look. Nut, nothing, head of the bolt is underneath. Okay, so all your railings have this, you know, they used to do this and sit the rail right on the C-channel. So it's eating the C-channel, eating the rail, and creating all this rust in between, which now you can take out. Okay, the entire fire escape has this. And this rust jacking is what pops all these bolts. So there's nothing here. There's no bolt here. So this is the emergency, that all your railings are no longer attached correctly to the fire escape. Here's another emergency, this grating and this flat. See? It's already pulled away from the building. I can put my finger through here. So this flat, the only piece of flat holding this piece here on this side, is ready to drop. So emergencies, cement spalling, higher up, bigger problems. The rusty tiers indicating that water's getting in there. And we also have some vent holes here further up that are for the, looks like it's for the washer dryers. So, and all the treads are pretty bad. So I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to focus primarily on the staircase on the second video. Any questions? Fire escape engineers, inspect the summary video. Part 1, 866-649-0333. the summary review, part 2. This is the side courtyard fire escape here at East 57th. And what we have here is, you know, rails have popped, bars are popping. This is no longer connected. So original hardware everywhere. 100% of all the treads got to get redone because there's just too much rust in every single tread. Bad design, a little bit of a dip, water gets in there. We got water blowing into these things, spalling of all the cement work, which we already talked about on number 1. So you really want to get all these treads redone. That C-channel tie back in. Rails, look at that. Look at all that rust on the rails. So there's no bolts. So these rails are not being properly attached. So there's no strength here. Rust inside those connections. So that's why there's a life safety issue. This is all popped, so you can step here and that's a life safety issue. Cement spalling on the buildings. You get the rusty dragon tiers for many, many years. Cement spalling. All the treads. Rust jacking on all your treads. Cement, gussets. So even after you clean out a gusset, if they're in good order, so they got to load test it. Or you pop in additional bolting, there is no load test. See, underneath there, that shelf angle is ready to drop that piece of grating on that side. 100% of the treads, again, full of rust. The other side is equal. So, railings, again, it's 1 inch of rust on those railings. It's not common. That's how long it's been ignored. That's how long somebody's just been painting it as is. They didn't care. Cement. You've got some of these vents further up. Some of these are clogged. But they're blowing warm, moist air onto this. That creates further erosion and further corrosion. So we got AC units that were somehow installed. They're blowing and dropping water down below. Connections into the wall. Treads again, 100%. Cement issues in the wall. Your railings are all expanding, so they're not being held on correctly. Almost at the top. AC units in the window, illegal. You can have an AC inside with a blower tube outside. That's how you convert those. Otherwise, you can get those to go on the top, leave the bottom alone, then it's okay. So have maintenance put these all onto the top and then you're okay. I know it's a concern for AC. Now again, repeats, treads, cement, it's an older building, ventilation, rust on the railing again, 100%. AC unit in the window, it can't be. That cement is all spalled, not even attached into the building and rotting. This is, yes, going up to the roof line. All original hardware. Stains that water has been getting in. Original. You can keep an original bolt, load test it, to avoid any liability. Or if an opinion letter is generated, liability is back to the owner of the building. That is a proven fact during litigation, that should the original hardware pop and you had an opinion letter on that from a design professional, you are still 100% responsible for what occurs to original hardware. But you switch out these bolts, there is no liability. Liability rests with the bolt manufacturer in case there's a failure of some kind. Okay, we have the top of the fire escape. This is the courtyard. Any questions, fire escape engineers? 866-649-0333. 866-649-0333. I believe this is a 7-story all the way to the roof of the fire escape with a ladder at the grade.